hello. I hope everyone got to know each other from one point, but I really raised my hand when someone said, "Who watched Lotus, White Lotus?" Yes, I love that one. Every week we have to stop my husband have to stop myself from going to the next episode. So that's it. All right, guys, I'm so glad to be here, and if you would love to, of course, open your laptop. Feel free to do so. So, hello. My name is Joanna Shero. I'm a Canva verified expert. I'm based in Kentucky as well as in Florida. I am an owner, business owner. I own EmpowerSoft and Savvy Chic Design, website design agency and a CRM platform provider. We specialize in automation and workflow, and we love also voice AI. But Canva was the first introduction to this whole digital space. Self-taught, didn't know anything. Canva basically changed my life as well. Like you all, right? I bet some of you. So today's agenda is going to be focusing more on, of course, overview, Visual Suite 2.0, the Canva sheets, Magic Studio at scale, and demo in between. So bear with me with 20 to 25 minutes. I'll do my best, and I'll try not to be as fast as I can, because sometimes I can go into, that speed as well. So just let me know. So when Canva Visual Suite, right, was launched, you have docs, you have whiteboard, you have video, you have print, you have website. All of this feature was launched. And it is just so amazing to have that. But then again, the Visual Suite lets you create anything, but you still have to juggle. So if you see this video, how many of you have multiple tabs and then you forget to actually label a tab? Now you have 20 tabs open and you say, which one is this? Is Instagram? Which one is this? It's like presentation, right? It really does happen a lot for us. Now, until now, marketing campaign in one design. So imagine doing presentation for your marketing, social media, mood board, right, in one place. How about if you are in sales, your strategy in sales in one design? Really putting it all together is one thing that is now available. We're going to stop you for a second. For some reason, it's not loading completely on here. So okay. There we go. All right. I wondered there was a green. This is a perfect moment to talk amongst yourselves. Reintroduce yourself to your neighbor. 3558-4296. Raise your hand. Who's used Canva sheets? Okay. Raise your hand. And 801-604. All good? Yes, it's now green all over. Oh, that one. There we go. It's okay. Yep. Yay, thank you for that. Yes, technical difficulty. Thank you so much. So we do have classroom curriculum in one design, right? So with that, one space, any format, effortless collaboration, and that's one thing that Canva really does provide to us, collaboration. And with that one, right, we have one design, one workflow. So Canvas Suite now in one. Presentation, layer with sheets, wrap in videos, just in one doc type, no more multiple tabs. Have you tried this one already? Awesome. How you love it? Let's give Canva a big round of applause. Awesome. All right. Right. So if you are in marketing, if you are in sales and creative, or a small to medium business, or even a teacher, it really makes it really efficient for us, because now you save from different softwares just in one place as well, right? And if you haven't done that one, let me see, okay? So if you haven't done that one, so it basically looks like this. So I've just captured this one here. So imagine on the very first page, you have your presentation. Then on the next slide, you then have your social brief. Then you can also have your sheets, which we're gonna dive in deeper. And then you can have your social media Instagram reel. You can have your website pages. you can have your whiteboard, and you can have then anything that you can think of. So in your document type, in your editor, in the lower part, you will see that icon. Then you can just click on that, and then basically you can then open the file just like this. And then you can add what you want to add into your file. All right? So you can do that one there, and then it can be whether a website, a document, or anything of some sort that you can do. And I'm just gonna toggle that right now and do this. Okay, hold on, because it's missing there. Where is that? Now, let me just go back. So that's how you can add in that icon over there in that side. So that's basically like the Visual Suite 2.0, wherein you can add multiple documents in one page. So the key part of design, right, is really storytelling in data. I myself, if there's too much text, you lose me. But if you break it down into graphic, chart, forms, and different types of storytelling, it gives much more of my attention. Now, bring the full power of data to Canva. That's one thing that when we were in LA, right, it was an opportunity to be there, is really being able to have that one as well. And one of the missing part in the Canva Visual Suite, as you all know, is basically one important thing that we love to have is basically Canva Sheets. And now they've really bring that, and we're going to play around and learn more about that, because as we dive into that, it's really just amazing on what you can do. And this is actually powered by AI. So there's going to be, just imagine spreadsheet merging data with design to help you create content like never before. Right? How about magic formula? Who among you knows all the spreadsheet formula? I don't. I only know equals sum equals average. After that, what was percentage again? 0.01 or 1.0. I don't know anything about that. But imagine if you're just going to type in a description in a layman's language and it generate a formula. Isn't that magic? Yep, it's magic formula, right? So how about simple magic insight? When you have data, numbers, and anything that you put in, insights, converting it into what does this number actually really work? How does this really work, right? What if you don't have to look and stare at your computer, analyze which is the most category that's more expensive, you type in the description, which I'll show and later, and then it gives you that, hey, this expense is the number one in this data that you have added. It is really just powerful. Now you can spot patterns and also trends and giving you insights on what you create. Of course, magic chart, right? So there are currently 25 types of chart in Canva. So whether pie chart, line chart, whatever it is that you would love to do, you have that option there. And also transform data in stunning visual, captivating your audience in seconds as well. So let's play with Canva Sheets. All right, so I kind of made this one and kind of love this part as well. And I'm gonna minimize this so that you can see my whole screen. Let me pull this one out and clip there. So just like a regular sheet, right? And oops, now it disappeared on me. Here we go. All right. Okay, so scroll here. So as you can see, just like in any spreadsheet, you can actually merge a certain cell. So you have the columns and the rows. So in a certain cell, if you right click here, you actually can either unmerge, but currently right now what I did is I merged that certain cell and number of cells. The beauty with Canva is because you have all the other elements from text, from images, or anything that you can think of, you can insert it in a certain cell. So now you have all of this, right? I've just added this one as count, description, amount, date, PIC, person in charge, category, links, and images. So let's just go just like any other thing. You do 1 and 2. You can hover. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you all. Oops, I can actually do this one here. And just like a spreadsheet, you can then drag it into how many numbers you would like it to be. That's number 7. And highlight it again until you have 10 in count. Now description. Of course, if it's going to be an expense tracker, you normally have already like a description for what the expense is. But of course, with the power of Canva, let's go ahead and highlight this area. Click on actions. Now action is going to be your like best friend when it comes to Canva sheets, because you then have the AI capabilities in this section. You'll see that you have magic charts, magic insight, magic write, bulk create, resize, translate, import. Then you have the insert. We have mention, date, drop down, link, Canva design, and formula, which we're going to break it down as well. So let's go ahead and just write here. And going to be 10 prompt. I'm going to say, just like edit here. Oops, give me a moment here. I prepared that one for you. I'm just going to say, give me 10 expense report, and I'm going to highlight that. This mouse is okay. All right, give me a moment. And it will generate just like when you do the Canva doc, right? So this is just giving a little bit more faster rather than me writing. And now I can insert all of these things here. So again, I've made use of Magic Write. So of course, with amount, let's just say 500, 300, whichever it is, because this is gonna be useful as well in terms of data when we are gonna use the Magic Insight and all other things that we have. So as you can see, you can fill it up, whichever amount you have as well. And I'm just going through this. Oops, 25. All right. So now that you have that with Canva, with the date, PIC, category, and links, one thing is that you can have dates here. So you scroll down and go with dates, and then you can then just do all of the dates that you have. And if you actually start on doing, for example, insert again dates, and then copy and drag it with the rest of the rows or the rest of the cell, now it occupies that one, right? And then you can then select a certain date of that certain expense and go with the rest of the cell. Now, as you can see, if you are familiar with the social planner content, the calendar there has a time. So if you want to add a time, you actually need, just for example, you need to create another row and you have to manually input the time. All right. So just a date and the time as well. So that's just like a one tip that you would love. Now, PIC, just for example, if you're doing or you want to tag somebody, just like how you do at on a regular, you mention someone. So because this is part of our expert account, I'm going to tag Ryan. Hi, Ryan. That's your expense. So as you can see here, you can also mention, I just use it like for somebody because I might ask Ryan, hey, Ryan, what is this 500 for this? Give me a little bit, because you can also create a comment, right? Just like any other sheets or pages within Canva, you can tag somebody, but I would love to have a person category in this side. Now, in the category side, I would just love to have in Sheets, just like in other, is actually a drop down. In Canva, it already provides you some presets like yes or no, high or medium, status or approval. But for this, because this is a certain expense tracker, I would love to create another drop down. So if you go to actions again, go into the part wherein it says drop down, and then you can create your category, and then you can add the different options that you have. So just click on the pencil and then say, for example, option 1, option 2, option 3, right? And then so on and so forth. And since we are all visual people, that's why we love Canva, right? Of course, you can then use the colors to really highlight those categories. So as you can see here, you have options, and then you can change all the category. And then when you actually do that, you'll see that it's purple, and let's maybe red, and then also on this part. Now, for example, if I actually go and copy all of this, I'm just gonna drag it again, all right? But then I'm gonna go on cell number 2, I'm gonna add another option. That's option 4, and then I'm gonna do another color. It will actually give me a prompt if whether I'd love to have all of this that I did in this certain cell to apply on the different or the rest, right? Rest of the similar drop down. All I have to do is change all. So as you can see, change all. Links as well is that you can do this. You can insert on links. For example, if you have a certain file or receipts or wherever you would love, because it's an expense tracker, you can go to your Google Drive, click on share and attach that one. Or you also would love to attach a certain area or a certain file within Canva, so you can also attach that. So think of it as being organized in one place. Right? Now you have all of this. But how about if a receipt is just an image, not a link? Of course, you can go ahead and upload that one. And then you can then, if it will refresh, give me a moment, you can just click on that certain cell, or you can drag, and then it will actually provide you that information. So let me go back and click on an image, if it will. Yes, there it's there. And click on that. And now it's there as well. So those are the things that you can really have within Canva. So the beauty of sheets as well, right? So of course, with that, that's one thing that you could always, you'd love to have to do as well with Canva. Now, Canva did not stop from there, right? Of course, you can just do it this sort of like simple task or simple functionality that a spreadsheet should have to do. But what happened is that this is going to be then data that we can do. So you can actually highlight this information here, and then you can then create an insight and say which one of this, which of this expense occurred is the highest, right? So you can just type in that prompt into this tab, and then it will give you the certain insight. So let me just type that one. Oops. All right. So do take note, because this is AI generated. If you have a Canva for free, you can only do the AI insight. It's, if I'm correct, 15 per week. And then for pro users, it's 500 per month. If that gets consumed, you need to wait until that resets. So there's no way, hey, can I buy a certain prompt again? So you need to be mindful with that one. But with that capacity, that's really just a lot as well, right? So the highest is 15, as you can see here, gives you some insight. And then the beauty about that as well is that it can give you some charts here as well. Like you don't have, it's generated because of the prompt that you have. So all you have to do is copy that and then move that one as well, or whatever part that you have. Now, of course, that is through the Magic Insight. Of course, if you go ahead and highlight this part again, you then have this icon, which is the magic chart, or you can actually go to here, actions again, and magic chart, and it will give you the charts that you have within the selection of sections or cells that you have selected. So you either can line, area, or radar, whichever you would love to have or choose. So now you have that, and then you can add. And you see how it says live. You see the source in this side here is live. If you copy this certain chart into another file, it will actually populate there. And then if you change the original source of where the sheet is done, it will populate and change as well, right? So you just see like, okay, active data is what you are looking at here in Canva Sheets. So again, you can edit it, you can do it. So each of this are making it a lot easier for you. So you have Magic Chart, Magic Insight, you have Magic Write, which we've used, and all the insert option. Now, if you have a CVS file on an Excel file somewhere else, you can actually also import it
and copy that one inside Canva. So now you're making your sheet a bit more beautiful and really more enticing as well as you interpret the data that you have. So play around it and see the power of Canva when it comes to data and the features of Canva have. Because as marketers, right, we rely on Canva to power the content creation from conception to execution. But until now, it's been one design at a time as well. So as we scale ourselves and our knowledge when it comes to Canva, Canva always realized that, hey, with Canva Sheets, what about the Magic Studio that is available, right? So it's basically merging these two together. And this is one thing, I know I'm almost done there. One thing that I really love about this. So Magic Studio at scale is basically generate a month of content with one prompt. Magic Studio at scale, what if you're creating campaigns wherein you have audience from speaking in French or in Spanish or in different languages? Would you like to create one page and interpret and translate it? What if we can localize campaigns at one scale? And how about personalized campaign at scale, right? Again, using Magic Studio at scale, the power of a few clicks, import the data, and then tailored create it. So that is one thing that it can really help, and Canva is really taking what the user, making the user's life simple. Whether you're a marketer, you're a sales, a creative, a small business owner, or medium business owner, right? Or even a teacher. Canva is there to support. So let's go ahead and talk about bulk crate. Have anyone used this one or have tried this? Okay. So using the Canva sheets, right? So I have already populated this content. I told Canva, right, give me 10 headers. So think of this as headers. Just be mindful, the more text you put, it's going to be a bit clunky. But if you just think of like a one-liner design or text into the design, it will really help a lot. So what I did is that I selected this title, Content, Graphic, and Link. So the header, the images is coming from here. So again, you just have to go to photos and insert it here. And then a link that I would love to highlight on my social media posts. So one thing that I did is I then went and created one Canva template which has this. So you will see that I already have a background image. I have my website, which represents my link. This is going to be my header in my design. And this is just going to be and I'm going to change this one to actually skin care. So that is the template that I'm going to do. So let's go back to this sheet, right? I'm going to highlight all of this three here. Before, you can see bulk create as part of the app. So you have to go to apps, look for that one. So what would now happen is that it's now in action. And then I'm going to click on bulk create. So as you can see here, select your data. So I've selected the 3 columns, right, of the 10. So that's A2 to C. I'm going to click on continue. And now it's asking you choose your template. So think of it, okay, this is going to be my template for all of this. So I'm going to click on this template. So you will see here, it populates the data, right? What I have made on my sheet. You have content, you have graphic, and you have link. Now we're going to link this one. So I'm going to click on this part, and you will see here, connect this data. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to say that this is the link. Now it highlights. Now next is this part here is going to be my content. Now I'm going to click on that one again. Now I'm going to do this here, and I'm going to detach this. Here's one thing I've learned as I play around with this is that if you set this one as a background, it cannot connect the data. So you need to kind of just hover within the background, position it. It should not be the main background or image. It's just going to be an image because sometimes I'm so used to right click and set it as a background because it's easier for me. but I kind of don't do that one, and then position it as a back, and then click on that. Now you will see that the connect data is now available, and here, and click on graphics, okay? So I'm gonna click on advanced option, because there are two outputs that will happen. Is it 11 individual design or multiple design in multiple page in one design, right? So I would love it to just be multiple because I want it organized. And then you can then, one thing that I really love, one of my fellow Canva expert, Brenda, we've just had a live video just talking about organizing, is be organized from the get-go when you're designing in Canva. So I can then make a folder called bulk create, and that's going to be where the folder this whole design is. And then I'm going to create design. And you will see it's populating here. Imagine that time that you've saved just doing that. So let's go ahead and click. And now here is my design, right? I selected an image, I've identified the content, I've indicated where that part is, and now I can just play around. Now, who loves this? Oh my gosh, right?
Wait, let's give Canva a big round of applause for this one because it just saves me a lot of time when it comes to this. So imagine this type of design, then you can just adjust it, tweak it, how to do, but this has really saved a lot. And that is one thing that really helped when it comes to Canva bulk, with the help of sheets, with the help of AI, and the power of Canva with the developments that they have right now. So those are the things that I'm here to show. I hope that really excites you a lot and kind of let you now want to go home and play around with Canva sheets. And if you have any questions, a few questions, I think, Ryan, and then I'll head over to the next.